Hello and welcome to the Squared Circle Psychobabble. My name is Michael Valenti. This is Ralph Valenti. We continue on the World Wrestling Elite Tournament, where we continue in the Dave Meltzer bracket. Our number 2 seed, AJ Styles, goes up against the number 7 seed, Aleister Black. Now, who advances? That's up to you. You vote on the poll above my head. You vote in the comments below, and you share all over social media using the hashtag SCPBArmy, where you get a chance to win a Squared Circle Psychobabble t-shirt. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications as we're trying to hit 5,000 YouTube subscribers before All Elite Wrestling, Double or Nothing. So Ralph, Aleister Black, probably one of the biggest names in NXT, recently getting called up to WWE. Do you think he can advance against AJ Styles, the phenomenal one?
It'll be a tall task. I think Aleister Black is going to do a lot of good things on the main roster, and I know that he's certainly done a lot of amazing things with his time in NXT. That being said, obviously AJ Styles has been doing amazing things throughout his entire career. Aleister Black, I guess some of the things that you can point out about him are some of his amazing matches that he's had while he's in NXT. So we saw some of the matches he's had most recently against Tommaso Ciampa. We obviously have seen his match against Johnny Gargano, which to me is probably one of the better matches I've seen in quite some time. Outside of a match that you're going to see by Kenny Omega and Okada with those two guys in the ring, that might be one of the better matches I've seen, in all honesty. And, you know, Aleister Black played a huge part in that, so his match against Gargano should be talked about. And then when you look to his match against Almas, obviously that was voted one of the better matches of the year. One of the best matches for all of the takeovers that they've had. So I think Aleister Black will have a very big career ahead of him if he's used correctly. We know he's talented. It's just a matter of if they're going to use him the right ways. And when it comes down to him going head-to-head with AJ Styles, I know it's a tall task, but we'll see what people vote.
Yes, that is true, but let's look at the other side of the coin here. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, basically carrying SmackDown Live, which has a very, very deep roster, I must say, with the likes of Samoa Joe, with the likes of Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev. I mean, there's some guys there that could be the top of the blue brand, and AJ Styles, really, since he's been there, has been the top guy in the blue brand. 371 days as WWE champion until he recently dropped it to Daniel Bryan. Tied in the top 10 of longest reigns in WWE history, tied with Macho Man Randy Savage. And not only that, he has been the top champion in every single promotion that he has worked at, whether it's Ring of Honor. He's a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion. He's a former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. He's a former TNA Impact Champion. He's been the Wrestler of the Year in PWI's 500 in 2015, 2016, 2017, and he was number 2 in 2018. He is the phenomenal one. Yes, his run in WWE, some people may say that it hasn't been the greatest with some of his matches, but still, a not so good AJ Styles match is much better than half the guys in the world right now's best match ever. So.
Sure. No, I mean, and you even look to some of the great matches he's had in WWE, whether it's been with Brock Lesnar, of course, his feud with John Cena. They've had some all-time great matches, which we've talked about on the show. You know, he's got a much larger body of work where, you know, Aleister Black, a lot of people are only going to know him for his accomplishments in NXT and his short, very, very short time to this point on the main roster. Had this been done again in a couple of years from now, depending on what happens with Aleister Black, I might feel a little more confident about this. Like I said, I think Aleister Black is going to have a huge career ahead of him, and I know he's had a very big career in NXT. But when you kind of compare what AJ Styles has been able to accomplish within the wrestling industry, you know, this is a tough one for Aleister Black to go against.
Now, don't forget, this is the best wrestler today, not the best wrestler 10 years from now, 5 years from now, or 5 years ago. AJ Styles right now, he's 41 years old, still has good matches, but Aleister Black is on the rise. And he was the 2017 NXT Breakout Star. Yep. He had a great match with Velveteen Dream. And I mean, the guy definitely has a lot of potential on the main roster, and I'm excited to see what happens with him.
He really kind of came from out of nowhere, if you think about it, because a lot of people for the longest time were talking about Velveteen Dream, and they were talking about Johnny Gargano, and they were talking about Adam Cole, and they were talking about Tommaso Ciampa. And then the more and more you saw of Aleister Black, you know, takeover after takeover, put on these phenomenal matches, no pun intended, he really started to become recognized. And then he kind of, it was almost like he was assumed to be the next guy to be called up, which we see right now on the main roster. And it seems like he might have the brightest future out of any of those guys. But time will tell.
Yes, time will tell. And now it's time for you to vote. Again, you can vote on the poll above my head. You can vote in the comments below. Share all over social media using the hashtag SCPBArmy. And if you do so, you're entered to win a Squared Circle Psychobabble t-shirt. And if this is the first time you're watching one of our World Wrestling Elite tournament matchups, you can click the thumbnail on the screen right now to follow all the matches previously to this one. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications as we're trying to hit 5,000 YouTube subscribers before All Elite Wrestling, Double or Nothing. We will see you in the next matchup of the World Wrestling Elite Tournament on the Squared Circle Psychobabble.